spring game will be important, but right now we're concentrated on our last two practices here. We had a fantastic practice this morning, and actually our Thursday practice will be more physical than the spring game.
This final week of the spring, I guess, what are you hoping to see out of the guys, and what have you seen so far?
Great competition. Guys are competing, trying to move up and down the depth chart, and we just want to finish out that physicality that we started this spring with the last two practices heading into the spring game.
A lot of competition in the interior offensive line, at least so it seems with those redshirt freshmen. What have you seen from that group, and is anyone kind of standing out in particular?
I just think that whole group that went through the crucible in the weight room, that hardening that goes on when they're a part of that crucible, they've got a lot of toughness, I think, and they've gained a lot of strength over the last year and a half with Coach Ettinger. So it's going to be important to see where that plays in the inner parts of the offensive line, and I think all of those guys have a chance based on how strong they are and how young they are. There's not a lot of injuries with them. They got some fresh bodies in there.
I've seen the crucible mentioned before. What do you guys mean by that?
Yeah, look it up. Google it, brother. The crucible, the definitions in the word. It's something that everybody on this football team needs to go through, and when we do, we'll have the type of family that we need to have.
Dino, the rules changes give you another assistant coach next year. Do you know how you're going to fit that into the staff, and like what position you'll have that person coach?
You know, there's a lot of ways that we can go on it. I've talked to a lot of other coaches about it. I think it changes based off of where you are and the things that you need for your program. I've got 2 or 3 things on the table right now, and I just want to see how the next 6 to 7 months play out before I decide which way I want to go with it.
Are you willing to share what those 2 or 3 things are?
No, sir.
The level of improvement in this offense you've seen from spring practice last year to this year, I guess, how high has that been, and what do you expect out of this offense this year?
You know, offensively, defensively, special teams, your second year around, everybody should be better, and everyone should move faster, and everyone should be stronger, and I think you're seeing those things out here. Even the collisions that we had last Saturday in our over 100-play scrimmage were unbelievable. And when you hear those noises over the music that's playing during the scrimmage, you know that you can close your eyes and you can hear a good football team.
See the brace on Donnie Foster's knee, still looking like a minor thing, or maybe something more long-term?
I think he's going to be fine. Once spring is over, you probably won't see him this spring. He'll be fine once it gets over, get some time to heal on it.
You know, I don't know if you saw it, but there was at Texas, there was a urine color chart that kind of became like a big deal last week. Do you guys do anything like that to monitor hydration, or is that something you care about?
You know, that thing's been around when I was a player. That thing's been around since the 70s. It's not really that big of a deal, but we're really big on hydration based off of the things that we do around here in the tempo that we do it. So we don't have the little charts up, but I guarantee you our guys would be at the top of that doggone thing.
And they know it? They know where they're supposed to be, I presume, on it too?
They know the color it's supposed to be.
How excited are these guys just in general, just for the showcase on Saturday? And have you gotten any input from fans, just general excitement level to see this team?
I think the biggest thing about Saturday is they just get an opportunity to not only get in front of the fans, but they get in front of their moms and their paws, and they get to see them. And right before finals, get a free meal, you know, and then get ready for finals and get ready for the summer. I think they're really focused on the things that are going on here in practice. And this last Thursday practice is going to be really, really intense. And it's the way we look at it as coaches is that this Thursday practice is more important than the spring game. And we're going to go after that practice that way. It'll be physical, it'll be testing, it'll be demanding, and it'll be fun.
I think each and every week we've asked you about Eric, and it's quite visible. You could see how much bigger he's gotten this year. What's the relationship been like between coach and quarterback from year 1 to year 2 with Eric? Dungy,
number 2, that guy. You know, anytime your starting quarterback's got to have a relationship with the head coach. He's got to have a relationship with the offense and a lot of other coaches. He's an extension of the coaching staff. Eric's got a great personality. He goes about his business the right way. He's always working to get better, and that's the thing that I appreciate about him. You know, he's not one of those guys that think he knows it all. He's always green and growing. He's not red and rotten. And as long as he's willing to keep developing and growing with this offense, there's no telling what we can do.
He always talked about wanting it to be second nature. He said he wants it to be as comfortable as you are with it. Do you see any of that? I mean, maybe not to that degree, but that growth in spring ball, and if so, where are those maybe little moments where you see that?
You know, you start to see a little bit of it, you really do, but I think the biggest growth for a quarterback his second year in this thing is what happens over the summer when the receivers and the O-line and the quarterbacks go and the coaches go away and they do it all by themselves. When the players can coach themselves, that's when they have it.